Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up. I made this beautiful Christmas card with products from Stampin' Up. I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for this project on my website. I also have links for the products that I used. You can just click those links and it'll take you to my online store at Stampin' Up. You'll see where to find all of that at the end of this video, so don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. I am using the Christmas Greenery bundle. Beautiful. And also the traditional labels bundle. And I'm also using the traditional wreath 3D embossing folder. And all of these came from the Traditions of Christmas Mega Suite is what they're calling them. And so I am using these two bundles and this embossing folder. But this is gorgeous Designer Series paper as well. And this beautiful red ribbon and these fun glimmer paper adhesive dots. So they're kind of like sequins. Very beautiful. So you might want to go ahead and get the whole suite. My cardstock is Cherry Cobbler, basic card size. So it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And of course, a basic white envelope. I have a piece of basic white for the inside that's 4 by 5 1/4. One for the front that's 4 by 5 1/4. Piece of garden green that's 3 3/4 by 5. I have an extra piece of basic white. I cut this down actually on my directions. It says 3 that are 5 1/4 by 4 because you can cut this label as well as this piece, I believe, from a piece of white. But I cut this a little bit smaller and went ahead and cut the label out. And I'm going to start off by embossing just because it's big and I want to get that out of the way of my work area. I'm going to be embossing this green layer. This is a thick 3D embossing folder. You can bend it a little bit, but not much. So you know it's the 3D. So I need my platform. When you get the machine, you get the platform, the number 2 die cutting plate. We're not die cutting right now, so we're not going to need this. You get 2 clear plates, and you also get this gray embossing plate, this number 4 plate. And for these folders, this is the one we're going to be doing. So you just need the number 1 platform and the number 4 embossing. This wreath is larger than my card front. I want to get my corners as much as I can because that's going to be the part that shows. So I think I'm going to have this corner because the rest of it's going to be pretty much covered up. I'm going to put the fold or the spine in first, cover it up with the number 4 plate, and roll it through. And it does just a really lovely job of embossing. So on that smaller piece, I cut this down so it fits easily with this stamp. My inks are Cherry Cobbler, Garden Green, and Daffodil Delight. And my first card, I stamped the greenery in, not in green, but in gray, because I'm going to be adding some colors. But I think I switched back to stamping it all in green. So I've got green outlining my flowers, but that's okay. So I'm going to stamp on here. And I am going to do some stamping off, so I'm getting just a piece of scratch paper. So I'm going to stamp the leaves in garden green, but I'm going to stamp off first. And then if you put your head right above it and stamp down, you can color. I'm going to go ahead and stamp all of these right now without showing you the stamping, because in order for me to get it lined up, I have to put my head above it, and you don't want to see my head in the video. So there's these flowers that you're looking at more straight on, and then these that are sideways, but the ones that are straight on are the same. So again, we're going to stamp off and turning it around to line these flowers up. So I stamped off and then stamped right on there. And then the sideways flowers, again stamping off. If you take your time with these, if I go fast, my tendency is to forget to stamp off, and then you get one dark flower. So take your time. And then the poinsettia in red, and stamp off. And there's this kind of square cutout part, and that's for this flower here. And I did have to put my head in the way, so hopefully I can edit that out. And I am using Wink of Stella. So I'm blending that in, so if I've missed that line, it's kind of erasing that. And I'm pulling up a little bit of the red from where I stamped off and kind of catching up with this part here. Iridescent pearls. And I'm going to color one of the big ones with the dark Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blend. I'm going to give it a little time to dry. And so you can have these pearls in any color you want. I wanted to stamp the inside of my card. And also the envelope, but I just want to stamp just a little bit of the envelope. And I'm not going to color the envelope. And that piece that I wanted to die cut. So I want to get this lined up as best as I can. Looking at all the points around the edge. In this case, all those leaf tips. Try and get those centered. And then I put this plate on top. I have been tipping this down and putting the front of it down, bringing it down flat, double checking to make sure it's still lined up, and then rolling it through. But not bad. And I still haven't stamped my greeting, so I need to get out my green. So I need to get out my garden green ink again. And I picked this label because it was just big enough, but just barely. So I'm going to put Christmas as low and as centered as I can. And then Mary can go above that. Okay, so I have my card base. I have my inside, and I did get caught up coloring that inside. So I'll put that down with that 1/8 inch border. And then I'm going to, you should have another blank white card. And technically, we could have stamped this out of this piece because we're just using the very edge of the border. And so you can die cut that without cutting into that. I don't know that I could get both of these off of this piece. Maybe. No, I don't think you can. So you're gonna really want another piece. We'll put the green with that corner that I kept all the extra embossing. So you can see that this piece up here didn't get much embossing, but that'll be largely covered up with the label. I did not use dimensionals on this layer, but you certainly could. I am wanting it as off to the side as I can, and I'm trying to actually go over to where the cherry cobbler is, but it can't go beyond the edge of the card. I am popping my label up with dimensionals, and that's going up in this corner. And I found my iridescent jewels again. I'm putting this yellow one in the center of my flower. And I'm scattering some other ones, and you can use the big or the little. I think I put about 3 little ones around here. And I try to go for an irregular triangle. And another Christmas card ready to go. Here is the web address where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. I also offer lots of resources on my website. Click Shop to see the online exclusives, clearance items, my frequent shopper points, and the products I offer to make crafting more convenient. That includes a cardstock sampler for all the current Stampin' Up! Cardstock and samplers for the Stampin' Up! Cardstock going all the way back to 1997. Click Inspiration to scroll my projects. You'll find the directions and images all the way back to 2011. You may also want to check out the Basics button where I share about stamps, ink, and paper, card cutting, bases, and layers, and some of my favorite tools. Click Getting Organized to find lots of free resources like case inserts, labels for just about every product, catalog tabs, color tools, and much more. More organization means more time for crafting. Click Evernote Current Products to learn how you can share my Evernote notebooks. The Current Products Notebook allows you to search every item by name, number, type of product like stamps, designer series paper, tools, themes like birthday, friend, baby, masculine, and even individual words. I also share a notebook with retired products going back to about 2015, and there's lots more that are older than that. Click Stamp Together if you're in Ventura County and come stamp at my house. You can also join my team if you're anywhere in the United States. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel and also to my website so you don't miss a thing. Thank you so very much for watching. Bye.